Hello, gentle viewers. This is Guardian, welcoming you back to Out of the Park Baseball 25 with the St. Louis Browns. I'm sorry if you've grown accustomed to my amazing Boston accent. I haven't been to St. Louis in a very long time. I don't remember if they have an accent. They probably don't. In our last episode, though, we won the pennant in our very first season. We made a pretty dramatic improvement, as one might say. Um, over their previous season, which was mired in iniquity. Right. A couple quick notes before we get started. Um, I think my voice is fine. But in the interest of full transparency, when I had dinner yesterday, we had Wendy's, and I accidentally choked on my chicken nugget, so my throat was like kind of scratchy. So you'll have to. I beg your forgiveness if I have to pause for a little bit more to drink water or whatever. But I didn't want to deprive you guys of video. Second thing I'd really like some feedback on is whether you're still enjoying this particular series. Um, because I'll be honest, it seems like it's on easy mode, and I don't know what to do to fix that. Because the problem is, it's just the way baseball was at this point. It was very, very easy for teams to retain talent. Um, Trades did happen, obviously. Trades are a big part of baseball, but free agency wasn't really a thing because of the reserve clause, and adding on the Negro League integration on top of that means I can basically print players whenever I want to. I can always choose not to do that, but that doesn't seem like it'd make the series more interesting. I don't know. So yeah, I just want some any feedback you can share in the comments. I really appreciate it. Whether yeah, man, this series is great. I love every minute of it. Or I don't love the series so much anymore. Why don't you try something else? Bear through just a moment, please. Ah, there we go. Um, so yeah, like I've been looking at my V's, and it seems like the two series seem roughly equivalent. So maybe people do just genuinely enjoy them, or maybe I just have a very, very loyal army of robots. In which case, I'd speak in binary, but I'm not a priest of the Adeptus Mechanicus, so I can't really pull that off. Um, but yeah, so if you're having a great time on this in this video and you want to hear more about it, then by all means I'll continue. But if people are like, it just isn't doing it for me, then we can definitely talk about that a little bit later. The other thing I wanted to quickly flag is there will be another. The first BGA video didn't do so great. I'm still going to do one more. I'm going to do one this Wednesday on Mini Rogue. Please let me know, and I'll definitely keep an eye on that. And if people just aren't enjoying it, then I probably won't do them anymore. But I would like to keep going if people are actually getting some value out of it, seeing a full playthrough, um, as opposed to just like a review type video like a Rado would do. Um, I was like seeing the whole playthrough, but that's just me. Anyways, enough dilly dallying. Let's reach our objective, which is winning a title for the St. Louis Browns. What do we need? Do we need any coaches? We do not need any coaches. I mean, when you have international legend Huck Wallace, how could you ever need other coaches, right? Like, that just makes sense. Oh, what's this bullshit again? This is really getting obnoxious. And I know this is how it was in real life. I'm not. Well, it even wasn't really like this in real life because farm systems, as a rule, didn't exist. Um, Before Branch Rickey really pioneered it. Um, First farm system. I'm trying to remember if he did the Cardinals first or if he did the Dodgers first. Thanks, AI. First farm system says the development of agriculture by Egyptians. I don't think so, man. Okay, was the Cardinals first? Okay, that's what I thought. Um, Yeah. So again, it's trying to force something into the game that didn't exist, which I get it. Short of completely changing their development model for historical sims, where players get a fair bit of experience in on the reserve roster, this is, I guess, the best solution, but it's not accurate to what happened in real life, and that's because that'll be boring as shit. If we just play baseball the way that it was played back in those days, it wouldn't be very exciting. There's not enough ways to get new players back in those days, other than just like going to fucking sandlots and sending scouts. So it is the nature of the beast, and we can but endure what's going on here. So okay, we are blessed with a high number of quality pitchers. We have a lot of good quality pitchers. Rudy York shifting to first base full time gives us an excellent player. So we've got a nice player there. Jesse Williams had a phenomenal rookie season. Um, we love to see that. We have two quality shortstops. I mean, Eddie Miller's still the guy for now, although I do question whether he'll be able to produce these numbers again. He's still a high quality player. Outfield is probably the greatest weakness, so to speak, of this team, and it's not that it's necessarily weak, it's that we just lack stars in the outfield. We also don't have a ton of hope on the way either. So that's going to be kind of our main objective this offseason is going to be upgrading the outfield if we can, and hopefully getting some quality players to really fill out our minor leagues. Let's quickly. I want to make sure that I do have the thing on. It's under. Yes, that's what I wanted. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do player development wise is Jesse Williams needs to get off his lazy butt and play third base better. So improve your defense, my friend. Do I have any big time prospects? I don't think that I do. Um, Johnny Pesky picking up second base would be pretty valuable. Um, learn a new position, please. Watch it and be like, ah, yes, a new position, catcher. Okay, all right, that's fine. On my current roster, Willie Hutchinson definitely could use some improvement. Work on your secondary pitches. Same with Max Manning. Done. Dr. Cyclops is a fucking fantastic name. That's truly incredible. Especially coincidence the bit like removes one of his eyes. Um, I would greatly appreciate that. Vern Stevens needs to work on defense, I think, if he's going to be a valuable player in the immediate future. So let's do that. But then again, maybe we just have him work on his bat. Because he might benefit more from just playing the game than he would from doing that. Or we could have him learn second base, I guess. But um, work on plate discipline, please. And then Lou Novikov could be an answer to my questions. Let's have you work on quality of contact. I'm gonna invest a little bit more into him because he could be one of a starting caliber outfielder if he's able to put the ball in play more frequently. That's his greatest weakness at the moment. All right, that's our player development workshop done. One of the metas I've seen on Reddit is a lot of people are really getting granular into how they develop their players. I'm using the development sliders. I don't find that particularly compelling to do at the moment. Um, like if I had a player that was really struggling to develop, period, I mean, I might do it for like Vern Stevens. Um, but once a player gets to about 50, they're going to be fairly productive, and it doesn't seem to me to be a great use of my time and energy to force them to work one particular thing or another. If I were playing offline, I would probably get a little bit more into it because I think it's a fantastic addition to the game. I'm not criticizing it as a feature in the slightest. I'm just saying that for what we're trying to achieve here, I don't think it makes a ton of sense for me to bore you by me going through each individual player, be like, yes, Tommy Briggs is struggling with control. Let's have him work more on control and less on improving his stuff. Especially is already 33. Tommy Bridges will probably stop being a valuable player in the near future. In point of fact, if I could turn Tommy Bridges into an elite outfielder, I think I would do it. So that is a thing to consider. Next step for every new season. By the way, both my microphone closer to me. Hoping that gets you a little bit better audio. Because a couple people were somebody posted about the last video saying that the audio was a little bit shaky. Message received. None of the actual free agents are that good. But we're adjusting to get to this place. We're gonna search all leagues looking for 50 potential. Because it's the easiest way to keep your farm system in pretty high. Why would I want a 38-year-old pitcher? I have no desire for that in the slightest. Marius Russo is a pretty great name. Okay. They're unfreely available pitchers. Message received. What about hitters? Pat Siri. Because it costs me nothing to find out, I will happily give him a minor league contract. But he's extremely raw. Extremely raw. He didn't even play last season. I mean, if this guy develops his power, he's going to be terrifying. He's going to like 60 home runs a year. But I don't think he's going to make enough contact for that. But it costs you nothing to find out. So we will get after it. Interesting. Is the gravy train over? Are the independent minor league teams disappearing? Oh, interesting. Oh no, all this is under Major League Baseball. Are there no more independent minor league teams? Okay, there's the Negro League. Yeah, I don't think there are any more independent minor league teams. Um, which is really unrealistic. Interesting. That goes a short way to alleviating some of my concerns about the patches. Too easy to get talent. Um, what teams even are there in the Negro Leagues now? I'm just gonna go through these one at a time just because I want to satisfy my curiosity. Like, I think the issue is they just can't hold on to quality players anymore because I think they're getting snapped up. Interesting. Okay. I'm just gonna jump right back to the majors so I don't get stuck here. The American Association should be an indie league, right? I mean, it's also possible that there are actual. Oh no, there actually are also affiliated minor league teams. Okay. I wish there was a way to see it, and if you know of a way to do it, by all means, let me know in the comments to see which minor league teams are indie leagues. But I don't think there are any anymore, which is interesting. Um, okay. I'll stop faffing about, and we will progress forwards. Give me my Rule 5 eligible player list, please. Right, advance today. Let's get some Hall of Fame voting in. Definitely going to vote for Max Bishop. Definitely going to vote for Kiki Collier. um, I don't remember which baseball game it was. Sorry, this is taking me back. It might have been Triple Play back in the day. Um, there was a God. I don't remember who he played for. I need to check this out. This is vital to this quality story I'm about to tell you. Um, so when I was in college, I used to play a lot of sports games with my roommates, my housemates. Um, and I'm pretty sure this was triple play. And there was a player for the Tigers. Sorry, not the Tigers. Who did he pitch for? He pitched for Oakland. Named his name looks like it says Kiko Calero, but his name is actually Kiki Calero, which I don't remember how I learned that, but I do remember it. Um, and for whatever reason, he was always happy. Like every single time, no matter what we did to this poor player, he was always happy. Like send him to the minors, no problem. Having a bad season, it's all good for him. And so we'd say things like every day's a party when you're Kiki Calero. And so every time I see the name Kiki, I think of this obscure pitcher that literally none of you have probably ever heard about. Because he wasn't very good. Um, he had this really brief period with the Cardinals and the A's where he was a decent middle reliever. And then he just disappeared. So anyway, this has been your everyday Kiki Calero reminder. Every day's a party when you're Kiki Calero, and move on. Kiki Collier, by the way, is a legitimate Hall of Famer, and I'm happy for him. I guess Heine Manouche. I'll get credit for him since I'm the one that drafted him. Yeah, we're starting to hit because of the way our Hall of Fames work. It's becoming a lot more challenging for players. The lists are getting a lot shorter because there's no wait time. That means people that their ones are voted in almost immediately. I will vote for Babe Herman. He seems reasonably good as a baseballer. But yeah, so people that are Hall of Fame worthy just instantly get voted in. I will also vote for Hack Wilson because of his home run totals, which are still quite high. If I remember, I checked recently, and he's still in the top 10 for home runs of all time. I'm gonna check again, but I'm pretty sure that's still true. Career home runs. Wrong one here. Yeah, he's sixth of all. He's sixth all time with home runs. Um, Lou Gehrig is chugging away to 400 homers. That's pretty wild. Mil Ott is fucking ridiculous. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Anyways, we'll just zip on through all of the awards. I should get a few, I think. Not good and bad. I thought I just spilled my water, but actually just bumped my microphone. Um, really? I didn't get Rookie of the Year for Ben Williams. Is his name Ben? Do I keep getting his name wrong? It's Jesse, isn't it? It is Jesse. Oh, hi, Jesse Williams. I had a feeling this would happen. Yeah, he's gone from being one of the best players in the league to utter garbage. He finished second in MVP, but why did he not get considered for Rookie of the Year? That's what I'd like to know. Is it because actually I don't know why it happened. Unless there's for some reason counting unless there is for some reason an issue with the Kansas City um the Monarchs being considered a major league now, like maybe because um I wonder if they did some changes to OTP with the recognition of the Negro Leagues as official major leagues and the statistical record. Maybe they now consider this his actual rookie season, and so he wasn't eligible for the rookie season. It's possible. Anyways, he has declined significantly, so that's something we're gonna have to adjust to. Um, but hey, he's still a really good player. Silver Slugger for Jesse Williams and Stain Spence, nice. And a Gold Glove for Mr. Stain Spence and Rudy York and Vern Olson. Nice work, Stain Spence. That's a pretty good season if you're able to come away with both awards. I don't know how I didn't win Manager of the Year. I'm assuming it's because of communism. I guess Ted Williams is a pretty good baseball player, just casually hitting 400. How good were the fucking A's this year? They finished second, but I finished first. I want more awards, damn it. Give me all of the awards. I've only won Manager of the Year 11 times. I need more of them. I crave a larger trophy case. Make it happen, fuckos. Make it happen. Alright, let's go to the draft. Let's get around to the draft. You want to raise. What the fuck? He's like, how dare you not give me any money? Like 10 seconds later. No, no, this is fine. Please give me anything at all. Okay. I never stopped negotiating with you. All of a sudden, you're like, I want more money. And like 10 seconds later, you're like, oh, wait a minute. Nobody wants to sign me anymore. Um, that's some good players for the top of that draft. And Ralph Kiner. George Kell is an example, one of the worst actual Hall of Famers in real life, but maybe he'll turn out to be better in our version of the game. Who knows? He got him because of nepotism, as so often happens. I guess not really nepotism, but he had pals on the committee, is what I'm trying to get at. This is not a very deep draft. We're likely getting mid-tier major leaguers at best. Okay. I don't really want pitchers, but I guess pitcher is the best value at this point. Let's look at John Morrow. Eh, like he's a soft tossing junk baller. That's not a terribly compelling draft pick to me. Alex Kellner is just a better pitcher. Like, I know some of these numbers aren't quite as high, but he's got some really good pitches, and the fact he's left-handed just makes him more valuable. I think Kellner is probably my pick, unless Johnny Lepon here. He's fine. I might come back to him if he's still around, but I think we'll take Kellner and pay him his slot demand. 109 rounds. Oh my stars. That's a lot of rounds. I can get behind Howie Schultz. I like the power. He's got enough contact that I think he'll be able to make use of that power to a certain degree. He's a pretty solid first baseman, and he's got a decent bit of speed. I'm not saying he's ever going to be an MVP candidate, but I'm saying he could be useful. And useful is a pretty good criteria when you're drafting players. I could use a really quality reliever, but I don't know that such a reliever exists. I'm just looking at the really quick stuff here, and I am not filled with admiration for any of these players. Yikes. I award you one yike. Um, damn. I'm just gonna ignore this draft. There is nobody compelling in this draft in the slightest. I'm gonna let scouting director draft the rest of the class. I'm not even gonna sign them. I'd rather have the picks than sign any more of these losers to my franchise. They all suck. Fine, I will sign John Morrow for $185. That's fine. But like Eddie Schultz is terrible. He is legitimately not a good baseball player. So yeah, I will happily let the rest of you. Look at this fucker. I want $1,200 to be drafted at 24th round. I don't think so, man. You suck. That was a disappointing draft to say the least. So maybe my earlier comments are actually misplaced, and that it's not going to be easy mode anymore. What is Boston offering you? Is it literally just they're offering you something? Look, I'll give you a major league option with $4,200. But it's all he ever wanted. If that's the case, then fair, but damn it. Could you try better, Jesse? I need you to be a better defender. Because you may not even be a third baseman for too much longer. Like, Vern Stevens might already have lapped you. Despite your fantastic rookie season. Let's not waste the development slots. Vern Stevens is already doing a thing, so I can't send him back. Rudy York doesn't really have much room to develop, is his issue. Dizzy Trout, work on your control, please. And Jesse Williams, I need you to work on your gap power. I think makes sense. Or play discipline. Let's work on gap power. Done. Johnny Pesky learned second base. Amazing. Oh my gosh, really? You can do this now too? That is so cool. I had no idea that was even an option anymore. He's actually a pretty good second baseman. That makes him infinitely more valuable to us. I love it. Why am I competing with an indie league? So there are indie leagues left. The Western League. Okay. They must just not have very good players. What would be funny is if I let you sign with the West League and then just buy you from the Western League, because nothing you can do about that. Do you have any good players here? I wonder. Out of curiosity, out of curiousness. No, you don't. All your players suck. That's funny. He's like, I'd rather play in the Indies than play for you. What if I offered you a minor league contract with a major league option of $10,000? I have lots of money to spend. We're gonna rule five this. player that's been DFA'd. Ah, yes, the Great Purge. See you later, fuckers. Wow, on Christmas Day, we just said, hey, guess what, assholes? You're gone. Fuck off. That feels very, very cringy. Like, this guy's an asshole. Like, we're going to celebrate the holidays with our families, and he's like, oh, by the way, shithead, you gone. Like, damn, that's ice cold. Danny McFadden's not terribly good. Roy Henshaw would be a decent choice. Um, didn't you use the picture of me in Boston? You did. Yeah, I'm not falling for that shit again. Are there any high stuff pictures right now? Johnny Grodzicki, if we turn him into a reliever, he would be incredible. Let's do it. Oh, if he's still around, I didn't even think of that. But yeah, god damn it, that was not even my player. I'm especially kind of stupid, guys. I'm sorry. I'm an absolute fucking moron, and you shouldn't listen to anything I tell you. Lame. Yeah, I'm not gonna bother. That was the one player I wanted, and as a player I could have had. But no. I was like, hey, what if I just made the worst possible choice? Eh. The value of Johnny Berardino is his captaincy. Do I have a captain right now? I do. I have Vern Olsen. I could probably still use some more leadership. He's a decent hitter who's not a terrible infielder. Like, there's value in having him along. I think I will go ahead and select him. Any big old thumpers around? Billy Nagel is. Larry Betancourt would be an interesting player to add. But I don't think he's worth it. So I shall politely decline, and we will end the Rule 5 draft. Yeah, Jess Williams might have gone from second in the league MVP. I probably played him too much too young, would be probably what I guess happened. I did get notified that Heini Manouche joined the Hall of Fame. Nice. Very nice. Listen, I know this isn't a terribly fascinating opening our to our off season, but there's just not much in the way of things we can do. Oh, you know what we could do? I know what you want. You want to get paid right now. I will pay you $15,000 if you make the Major League this year, which you will not do, and then you can become a free agent. Um. Okay. What do we do now? I think we quickly see where we are now because other people have also declined. Yeah, it's the Negro League problem, and that players that played in the Negro Leagues in real life, they didn't really have long careers. And so they decline pretty rapidly. So that significantly disincentivizes me from trading a pitcher now, which was something I was actually thinking of doing. I mean, Johnny Pesky's got a really good chance of making the team as well, because he's just that bloody good. It's going to be an interesting training for certain, to see who does what when. Hmm. Excuse me. Aerospace. That's funny. You know what? This man is such a fucking weirdo. Like, he very clearly wants to play for the Indies, but the amount of money I'm offering him is he'll just never sign, is what's going to happen at this point if I don't let him go. He's raised my budget. I guess I should look at these budgets. Let's do 70,000 just for fun. I was actually not going to do it. Oops. I did not mean to open my Steam overlay. Apologies. I can literally send whatever I want. 150 grand then. Okay. Oh, that's right. It's three times. I can't math. I'm sorry. I failed you for the last time. $1 million. There you go. Okay. Um, Let me quickly kick the tires on adding an outfielder. So let me go to team needs actually. I don't really care. Any outfielder is fine. No older than 25. Minimum quality right now of good. You like the idea of Charlie Keller. I am not going to be able to get him ever. Let's say I offer Johnny Pesky as a start. No, that's not going to happen. So thank you, but I'm not going to be able to get Charlie Keller. I'm going to keep offering the exact same fucking thing, and if you don't take it, you don't take it. But I'm not going to sit here and dick around with you. Players are getting slightly worse. That's disappointing. It's entirely possible the last season was just a matter of a lot of people hitting like lightning in a bottle at the same time. Fully understood. All right, string training. Um, Hamilton early. If I look at my minor leagues, who are my highest potential fuckheads? I know I probably shouldn't call them fuckheads, but I also don't care. Johnny Schmitz can go to the spring training roster, and then I think that'll be it. This is going to be a fascinating spring training, to say the least. Wow, Dizzy Dean sucks. Um, go ahead and set the pitching staff the way you'd like to. You can also do the same thing with the lineup. So we're playing Johnny Pesky at second. We're benching Eddie Miller, huh? I mean, he's not as good as he used to be. So if this is the best configuration, I'm happy to let Johnny Pesky play second. Um, and Vern Stevens play shortstop. Let's get y'all some reps here in spring training and see how you might develop as a result. I don't care anymore, dude. You're being fucking weird. Like you're to come crawling back to me like, I want a chance. Ooh, the splitter got better. Nice. You improved your slider. Nice. And neither one of you really got any better. That's fine. What do we just traded for Ted Williams? Clearly, that's going to be an easy thing. I could probably give them my entire farm system, and they'd be like, no, get fucked, nerd. Which is fair, honestly. That's what I would respond as well. Pete Rice is probably way too expensive for us. I can try. Again, just gonna add Johnny Pesky. Yeah. What if I offered you the best player on my team? What if I offered you Tommy Bridges? Yeah. I wish they weren't giving me such good players because there's no way in hell that we could ever get a hold of them. Like, that is not a reasonable expectation to be able to trade for somebody's very best player. They're just gonna tell me to get fucked, and that's the appropriate response, right? I was gonna keep offering you the same damn thing. And if you don't like it, then that's fine. But I'm not gonna sit here and dick around with you. Let's just sim to the last day of games in case somebody gets hurt, and then we'll get our initial roster set up. Just go fuck yourself at this point, man. I don't want you anymore. You're too much of a damn hassle. I'll just let you sign with an indie league team and then take you from the indie league team for less money. Like, I'm trying to do you a fucking favor, and you're like, no, I want to play in the indies for 10 seconds. You do you, bro. Okay. 19 pitchers is an excessive number of pitchers. Let's start getting rid of them. Renee, I'm just gonna cut you. Is this how the celebrated career of Dizzy Dean ends? It might be. Clay Bryant should try sucking less then. I mean, the fans are probably going to get livid with me when I cut Dizzy Dean, but it also might improve the chemistry, so I'm willing to make it happen. I want Johnny Schmidt's back in the minors. I want Shrimp on the Barbie in the minors. Three more minors, minors, minors. Down to 11. This is fine. This is fine. We don't have much in the way of a dominant reliever, but I still think we have a pretty good team. He got 30 position players. I don't need 3 catchers. Goodbye to Johnny Peacock. Eric McNair fucking sucks. Let's cut him. Eddie Mayo is bland and uninteresting. Tour players got to go to the minors. Clarence Israel can go to the minors. Six outfielders feels excessive. Problem is that Charlie Gilbert's not a very good center fielder yet. Why would I play Stan Spence at center field when I could play Mike Krivik, who's actually a better center fielder there? Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna send Charlie Gilbert to the minors to have him work on his defense. And this will be our opening day roster. Pitching stats on, I'm not gonna fuck with that. Let me reset my lineup the way that I would like it to be set. And kill all the depth charts as well. Alright. Okay. This is going to be interesting because I'm not quite sure who slots in easily where. Um, okay. I'm reasonably sure I know who's going where now. Okay. I'm gonna try an experiment. We're gonna make Johnny Pesky our lead-off hitter. And then following up from Johnny Pesky is gonna be Buddy Rosar. My thinking is he'll be able to move Pesky up for somebody else to do some damage. Now, my best all-around player right now is actually Bob Johnson, which is pretty terrifying, considering the man was worth a win below replacement last year. But I don't have anybody any better. So I think we're going to go ahead and play him. Hit him third. Hit Rudy York fourth. I mean, Stan Spence is one of my best hitters. If I don't play him in center field, I won't be able to play him at all unless I don't play John Stone. And I need John Stone too. I need another on base machine. I think we play Vern Stevens fifth. And then I guess questions would rather have a great defensive center fielder and a good outfielder or two pretty decent outfielders. And I think I'd rather have two pretty decent outfielders and just not use Krivich this early in the season. So Spence bats sixth, John Stone bats seventh. And then playing third base is probably still going to be Jesse Williams. Or is it Johnny Bernardino? He's not a very good third baseman, I guess, is my one complaint. I think we'll play Eddie Juiced at third base. I think that makes sense to me. Oops. Let's try that again. Just because he's a really good defensive player and he's also got some decent on base chops, whereas Jesse Williams doesn't right now. I mean, he's still pretty good. He might still be better than. Yeah, let's stick with Jesse Williams. I'm not going to overthink this one. Then give me a depth chart, please. Once every week for Mike. Actually, I was going to do if starter tired for Mike Kriovich. I do like the idea of letting Juiced play second every once in a while. That seems pretty reasonable. I don't like the idea of playing this guy this frequently, though. Let's play him once every 5 games. And let's copy the lineup and the depth chart over. I don't know where our runs are going to come from. I truly don't. And I think that's a huge issue. We've got a hitter's ballpark. It's just going to be a question of do we have the hitters to fill said ballpark? And I don't think that we do. We've got really talented players, but they're all very, very young and they haven't reached their full potential yet. So it'll be interesting. If Johnny Pesky gets on base at a ridiculous clip, everything else is going to be pretty special. You like Wally Udinich. I like him too. I like him a lot. And you're probably going to tell me to go fuck myself if I ask for him. Yeah. That's the problem, right? The problem is there aren't players like that are available. So. Lay sigh. Let us go ahead and baseball. Oh, I do, don't I? Where is he? JC Hamilton made the roster. Congrats. Congrats. I'm sure your family is very proud of you. I mean, that's one way to solve the outfield problem is for John Stone to get hurt in the first week of the game. Okay. With him injured, Dan Spence shifts over to right, and Mikey K slides into play center. And give me a new depth chart, please. No. I will never understand why the game gets so obsessed with defense that that's the only thing they care about. And they're like, I mainly to play this slightly better defensive player. I'm like, yeah, okay. This is also a really bad time to be a bad performing team because the next couple of drafts are going to be brutal because of World War II happening in real life. Um, John Morrow throwing harder is nice, but that's not what I'm looking for necessarily. I'm looking for players to play better, but that's probably too much to ask for. Let's go ahead and who's the best hitter? It was Nick Atten. Our former pal. I think short of a bloody miracle, this team is a right around 500 club. Sure. I think he'll just never sign. May even retire from baseball because things nobody wants me. Like I've offered you a competitive contract multiple times, and then this split second that I offer you anything, you're like, no, I've got a better deal from someone else, and then they don't sign you either. Like, what the fuck, man? This is not helping you and your career. You're being fucking weird, man. Johnny Pesky is improving rapidly, so that's good news. That's his Vern Stevens. Okay, let's take a look at our team. We're actually performing middle of the pack, which is about what I expected. Our bullpen is trash. If there's anything we do to improve the bullpen, that'd probably be very welcome right now. Johnny Pesky is doing his job. Johnny Pesky is having himself a magnificent rookie season. He's getting on base, he's stealing bases, he's just being, well, pesky. Buddy Rosar's not hitting well. Bob Johnson isn't hitting that well. We have hardly any power to speak of. Vern Stevens is doing okay, I guess. Um, Stan Spence is okay. Mike Kriovich is yikes. Jesse Williams is yikes. I have no power this season. I don't know how to fix that either. Is the tragedy of it? Like I don't know where to find a better hitter. I need power, and Hank Lieber seems to offer that. Why would you be taking a player of Dixie Walker's accomplishments and trying to trade them? I mean, I'll ask, but I doubt there's anybody that you want from me. Yeah, you just refuse. I got excited for a second there. Start with Mike Kriovich and see. Okay, that does open possibilities up, which is good to hear. I don't really want to give you Bernardino, if I'm honest with you. I think he's too valuable from a number of places. I could offer you Charlie Meade. No, Charlie Meade doesn't move the needle for you. What if I retained his entire salary? Does that change your opinion? I'll offer you 50 grand too. Hmm. All he wants is a bit more. The problem is the players that he wants are players I'm not really ready to give up yet. I could give you Novikov. I don't think Novikov's future is terribly bright. Yeah, done. Yeah, and then Hank Lieber. I only have three outfielders right now. I should probably fix that too. I'm gonna call up Charlie Gilbert, and I'd like one more outfielder. Do I have any other outfielders that are reasonably useful? Joe Brady's got an okay bat. I'm willing to give him a chance potentially. All right, let me copy the depth chart and slide you in there. Oops, lineup was already pasted. That was silly on my part. Yeah, let me copy this lineup and fix that too. There you go. Plus, he's a fan favorite. Who could refuse that, right? I could use a better bullpen, but I don't know where that comes from. Do we trade John Stone at this point? I'm gonna put him on the block, but then I'm gonna rehab him for now in case somebody else gets hurt. I mean, look, John Stone is still more valuable than Joe Abreu. I get it, but if I can turn him into a decent player or two, I'm kind of okay with that. And then go ahead and rehab. That'll buy me some time to see if anything crazy happens. Ouch. Sorry, Satch. 60-day IL. I guess Willie Hutchinson makes his triumphant return to Major League Baseball. I've got to get rid of Clint Brown. He's terrible. Like, he just gets hit all the fucking time. Um. Cy Blant would actually be pretty decent. He's a starter, actually. I want an actual true reliever that I can trust. There aren't good relievers being offered. That's what I was afraid of. Yeah, we're gonna have to figure something out to do with that later on this season. Joe Cronin got 2,000 hits. Nice. All right. I'm never gonna change my offer to you. You're either gonna take it or you're gonna bitch about how you've got a better offer and then don't sign that offer either. Eddie, you're having the worst season of your young career. I am not starting you more frequently. So just knock it the fuck off with that immediately. Just go fuck yourself, Pat Siri. I don't want to talk to you anymore. Like, you're incessant complaining about how, oh, you're better than this, and then you're not better than this. Okay. I was kind of hoping something would figure itself out. I mean, I guess I could just send Joe Abreu back to the minors and bring John Stone up. I literally cannot bench Bob Johnson. It is not possible. I don't have anybody better than him. If tired. You want to once every 15 games? Sure. If tired. If tired. I did it again. I keep hitting the wrong paste button. There we go. We've got a really talented infield, but I think we're badly struggling with a lack of quality options with the stick. I mean, hey, Jess Williams is getting better every day. So that's great to see. Look at Howie Schultz all of a sudden is like, oh yeah, I can play first base all of a sudden. It's amazing. I just don't know how we actually get a better outfield right now. I don't know how that's possible. Because I don't have anything people want. I think that's the biggest issue. And it's just going to be some lean years while we figure that out. All right, we could lose our team trainer. Our team trainer is decent. I think it's worth keeping him. Hosp and Blake is amazing. We're definitely keeping Blake. Hosp, I think we can probably do better at. So I think we'll let him go. Vern Olsen, Clad Passo, and that's it. Two pitchers made the All Star team for us. Honestly, none of my hitters are that great this year. I think this is entirely reasonable. I think it's entirely reasonable. I'm probably dead last in minor league systems. I'm second to dead last. I'm almost dead last. Sigh. I don't know what we can do about it either. There may be nothing that I can do about it. We may just have to muddle through this season and see if we're able to get something out of the draft next year. But like we could always get hot. Like that's always a possibility. No, I'm done, Pat. I'm fucking done. I'm tired of this will you won't you bullshit. Just go to hell, man. I agree that's a terrible deal. I do need a reliever, but I am not going to part with Charlie Gilbert for that. I need dynamic young out for this. You want Sam Jethro? You can have Sam Jethro. There you go. Done. Al, I'm instantly making into a reliever. Because I desperately need a better pitcher than Clint Brown. I'm just gonna fucking cut Clint Brown. Like, there's no reason to keep him around. And then who's gonna close with him gone? Let's try our new acquisition, Al Benton, as our new closer. Let's try it. Let's see how this works out. Because I get a feeling, and I'm going to check the saying, see if my feeling is back up, that we're probably losing a lot of one-run games. We're literally 500. That's shocking to me. I thought my bullpen was victimizing us pretty badly. I mean, our run differential is terrible. And it ain't because, yeah, we're just mediocre. That's the nicest way I can put it. Um, Meh. Okay. Hmm. Ted Williams, you say? Never gonna waste my time. That would be funny as shit if we could get Ted Williams, but you're gonna tell me no. Like, I'm not fucking stupid. There's no way you pop for him for any price. You just don't. So yeah, I'm done. Um, like maybe Ted Williams is pretty good. You fucking think? Um, I don't know that adding a new starting pitcher would change very much. I don't think starting pitching has been my issue. I could get Frank Damari back. I don't think so. I think I've given up on him. Yeah, Dixie Walker doesn't want to be traded. That's understandable because he's the only other needle mover that I see that I would get really excited about. Is Bucky Walters or Whit Wyatt better? I think Bucky Walters is better. Plus, he's a fan favorite. Interesting. If I offered you, I mean, I could just offer Dizzy Trout and just significantly upgrade my rotation instantly. Who else is starting for me right now? How's Jack Matchett doing? Jack Matchett's having a pretty miserable season. Hey, you want Matchett and Miller? I will make that happen. I will at least check to see if you have anybody interesting to go along with this, but you probably don't. Because you won't give me Andy Pafko. I'm not stupid. I'd love to have Andy Pafko. Let's ask. But you're going to be like, go fuck yourself, which is fair. It's a fair statement. Yeah, Whitey Platt's not terribly interesting. Can I borrow a reliever from you? I could get Mike Kriovich back. I actually would take Cy Bland. I'm gonna take Bucky Walters. I don't like this makes us a better team right now. And it's not like Eddie Miller was actually getting much done. So Bucky Walters, not only do you get a rotation spot, you instantly supplant Dizzy Trout. Just like that. I now need an outfielder to replace. Oh, not an outfielder. Need an infielder. Clarence Israel isn't terrible. He's just only plays second base and third base. So yeah, there we go. There's that. That's the end of that chapter. Yeah, I can't really bench any of my starting outfielders. So John Stones is gonna have to like it or lump it, and most likely lump it, because I'm not gonna fuck with that. I don't think there's anything else I want. I don't think there's anything else that actually appeals enough to get interested in it. What I'll do is let's go to the next sim because every once in a while they do make like late deadline offers that actually tend to be somewhat compelling. Bobby Estelea just hit the list. Bobby Estelea would actually be a pretty nice addition to our team. If I offered you John Stone, where does that get us? Oh, you're being a bitch. Okay. Would Bobby Estelea start on this team? Probably not. I don't see him replacing any of my current starting outfielders is the issue. Like Lieber's power makes him far too valuable to sit on the bench. Um, I mean Bob Johnson is eventually going to get too old to play, but he's again. I guess he could replace Stan Spence, but the thing is, I think Spence is better than Estelea. But Estelea does have power. No, I can't. I can't take a young player like Spence and trade him. I need like a really good young outfielder to get excited about. I mean, I would do it for Dixie Walker in a heartbeat, but he doesn't want to get traded. And I respect that, but that leaves me in an awkward position. Is Gene Moore any good? He's fine. Like, I can upgrade my bench, and I appreciate that. And I would like to do that, but I'm not going to give you a starter for him. Gilbert for more, I will do. I feel pretty good about adding another reasonably good outfielder to our repertoire. If tired, and the rest of this is fine. There you go. Oh, I will skip to one more sim. Come on, damn it. Alright, fine. That was a reasonably productive trade deadline. Yes, he could have been great, but absolutely not. He wouldn't have done it. Trading Gilbert is the only thing I slightly regret because I do think Gilbert's got it in him to be a fairly decent player. But for right now, Gene Moore is a more valuable player. And we definitely needed more pitching, so Bucky Walters was a great acquisition there as well. Is that enough to win us a pennant? I don't know. Like, it's genuinely going to come down to can we get hot, which we haven't really done all season. Like, we haven't really hit past, tepid warmth. Um, which is whatever. If that's what it is, that's what it is. But it does create an issue long term. If we can't find ourselves a young, dynamic outfielder to kind of spark the rest of the team. Can I just send Satchel Paige to the minors? No. Rehab. And then once rosters expand, I will call you back up, Satch. Yeah, or we're just gonna stay ice cold and collapse. That's fine too. Yeah, I'm not gonna start you, dude. Like, you're not better than any of my existing infielders, and you're having a really bad season. So, like, what could possibly be my motivation to start you? What do you offer of note? And the answer is nothing. You're just not good enough to play every day. If you don't want to be a distraction, then shut the fuck up. That's my response to Eugene. I know we're not a great team this year, so people are going to get extra cranky, but you could just shut up and play, and then we can revisit it in the off season. Um, did anybody ever sign Pat Siri? I wonder. Let's just look it up just for fun. You're so fucking stupid. Like, your idiocy is legendary at this point. I'm just gonna keep making you the same offer, and if you don't take it, you don't take it. That's fine. But you're not signing with anybody. Oh my god. Fine. You just want no signing bonus. I'll give you no signing bonus. He wants a minor league contract, but he's just like, no, I don't want it with you. You know what? I'll give you a signing bonus. I will give you $10,000 if you sign with me. Maybe that's all you want. You just want a signing bonus. You're guaranteed to get money. Yes, quite right. Let's call you up back to the bigs, Mr. Page. Anybody deserves some reps here toward the end of the season. I think Johnny Schmitz could definitely use some reps toward the end of the season here. How well is G Soleus actually playing? Not very well. Let me add Johnny Peacock as our third catcher for the rest of the season. That's fine. How much money do I have left? I have 153,000. I will give you $100,000 to stop fucking bothering me. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Sorry. Okay, you ready? $100,000. I literally have nothing better to spend this fucking money on, so take the damn deal. Jesus Christ. What a freaking weirdo. Yeah, I don't have any good players this year. Or as many good players. Yep, no pennant for me. And just as I predicted, this is not a great class. I mean, there's some really good players in here. Like Al Rosen would be incredible, and I would jump all over that, but I don't think he's going to be there when we draft. The DiMaggios are incredible combined. Make DiMaggio Voltron, maybe. It's almost like when you take an MVP candidate off of a team that the team does worse. Fancy that. Can we sign Siri or is he still a free agent? Like, I don't care at this point. If he doesn't sign, he doesn't sign. Okay, watch. Watch this. You fucking signed for no money. Oh no, you did sign with me. Okay, thank God. I was about to say. I'm gonna shortlist you, and you better be fucking amazing after all the bullshit you put me through. I swear. I feel pretty strongly that it's the A's and the Braves. It'll probably be the Braves just walloping them again because the Braves are just that bloody good. Their GM must have been a genius. I'm just saying. Um, damn Braves, you're falling behind. That ended up being a really competitive series. Congratulations, Braves. Yeah, we got guys hitting 370, and I've got guys like I'm hitting 300. Um, yeah. I didn't know that, and I wish I didn't know that now. Game. That's way too much information. I know what Jason Jump used to fucking look like. No one wants to think about him in a thong. I mean, I'm not going to kink shame anybody, but if that is your thing, kindly keep it to yourself. Um, great hitter. Great hitter. Not an attractive human being, in my opinion. I'm definitely interested to see how we did this season. Like whether there's anything saving this particular team. Like maybe we just had an off season, or whether last season was the crazy season and we're actually doomed to being like a mid tier team. I mean, I guess we just need to weather the storm until the really great players are available again in the draft. And we're in a position to grab them. Because I think my pick's going to end up being like 6 or 7. which isn't terrible, but it's probably not enough for us to fix the issue of not having a dynamic offensive player. For a reasonably okay offense, it's very, very limited. Like, all of my players are basically the same type of player, more or less. Um, I know it's a very poor score. I didn't do it on purpose. Um, he is happy. I got you guys a fucking thing. So, yeah. Am I still dead last? No, I am third to last, thanks to Pat's series, so I guess I got something out of it. Maybe. Alright. Let's look at the team and how it did and whether we have hope for the future. Batting stats. War. I had 5 3+ win players. That's not nothing. I had good starters, they just weren't quite good enough. Let's start with Johnny Pesky. I still think there's more here, but if this is what Johnny Pesky is, I am happy with that. I wish he was a better shortstop. How was he defensively? Not real life stats, sorry. I need actual stats. Pretty good, actually. Somewhat error prone, but pretty good, all things considered. His range isn't the best. Hank Lieber proved to be a highly valuable addition to this team. Yeah. A great season that we desperately needed to give us some level of talent. Um, he's not a great center fielder, but I think he's good enough. Like, I don't think we need to kick him out anytime soon. Buddy Rosar had a great season. His power was down across the board for the entire team. I wonder if it's just one of those years. But he was still a very valuable player. Stan Spence, his power evaporated. I think the single biggest difference between this year and last year, besides Jesse Williams, obviously, is Stan Spence's power just disintegrating. He can no longer hit for power at all. That significantly limits his upside. We can only hope that he'll come back around and next season and be even better. But for now, it's a troubling season to be sure. Rudy York also badly slid on power, so maybe this is if this is something we can fix as a team next year, we'll be in better shape. Who knows? Vern Stevens' first full year in the majors was pretty okay. Um, yeah. Oh, he was our shortstop this year. He is a god awful shortstop. We need to get him off a shortstop immediately. Duly noted. He cost us 2 wins by how badly he played shortstop. Maybe Pesky shifts to short, and Vern Stevens shifts to third. But that is one yikes of the highest order. Like, that was bad. It is, of course, possible that he will be better in his second season. Show me his advanced fielding stats. No, it's easier to see in the other window, isn't it? We'll come back to that. Bob Johnson was fine. He also is not. He's also is a terrible outfielder, so may need to do something about Bob Johnson. The Jesse Williams was acceptable, but I think he's already been lapped by Vern Stevens. I think we'll ship Stevens over to third, and then maybe find out something to do with him. Yeah. Okay, knowing that we have two dumpster fire infielders is something we're gonna need to fix. But two dumpster fire fielders. Rudy York. What do we do about that? Like Bob Johnson may have to go, but I don't know who we replace him with, which is the biggest issue. Stevens is an easy fix. We just shift either Pesky or Williams to shortstop. Probably Pesky, because Pesky's actually a pretty solid. Or we just let Bernstein's figure it out at shortstop. That's also a valid decision. Let's look at defense. Fielding Statarinos. Yeah, he's not getting to the place he needs to get to be a quality shortstop. So that's something we're definitely going to have to fix. Whether it's by replacing them both or what. I can't replace Bob Johnson's bat, which is what's truly terrifying. Like, he is the one hitter on this team that's actually consistently been decent. But there's always a chance of maybe a big draft pick coming in. How was our pitching this year? How was our pitcherino? Again, not really any stars, but a lot of really good pitchers. We got great seasons out of Passot, Walters, and Olson. Walters clearly was an excellent deadline move, even though he struggled a little bit with us. He still was very effective and is an important part of our success next year. Tommy Bridges, man, if this fucker could ever stop walking people, he'd be a Cy Young Award winner for sure. Al Benton was a really nice reliever for us, and that might be the best role for him. Busy Trout had kind of a problematic year. Mr. Trout combines walks too many hitters but doesn't strike out enough. If he can work on that, though, he's still got a chance to be a useful pitcher. And Jim Yarmouth apparently was dog shit, which is pretty shocking since only threw 13 innings. Either way, can things get better? I think they could, but I'm not terribly. If we just ran it back next season, two things would have to happen. First, Bernstein has to improve significantly at shortstop. His bat will play. His fielding will not. We need him to play shortstop or second base or some other position. Sorry, third base or second base or some other position that gets him off of shortstop. If he doesn't improve, he's got the raw ratings that I think it's worth giving him one more shot at it. I think. Like, his defensive ratings are actually reasonable. He's maybe not a perfect shortstop, but he's okay. So I think it's important to give him one more chance before we bench him or change him around a bit. Bob Johnson is an easier sell. I just need a better offensive outfielder that can replace him, and we'll be fine. Our pitching is still fairly young. Oh, maybe it's not. Let me sort by age. I guess you'd have an older pitching staff, don't we? Which means if they start to slip, we don't have a ton of people waiting in the wings to take over. Although, who's that one guy? Johnny Schmitz does have that possibility to be a really good reliever, or at least a decent starter, potentially. Okay, so that's that. Let's go and end the episode there. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know if this was actually a more exciting episode for you because it wasn't so predetermined. If it was or it wasn't, let me know either way. And until next time, this has been Guardian. Thank you for watching, and I bid you